Karen, I'll go to you. We missed you for a couple days here. You're back.
What did I miss? I was aware. I was well aware. I mean, we were just talking before the show. I mean, it feels very different to have up 2,900 and then down 1,000 is way worse than up 1,900 and flat.
Right. That
would be fantastic. So, I mean, the moves in the dollar, which we'll get to more, but the moves in the bond market and the volatility index, I mean, feels like things are sort of breaking, right? I'm more optimistic than that. I think that ultimately cooler heads will prevail. They started to prevail. So, I'm always long. I didn't do a lot today. I am not a seller with the VIX at this level. It's hard to be a buyer when all these things are kind of going crazy. But two moves I did make today, I covered some treasuries and instead of and then put out some more HYG. So I want to sort of exchange some of that interest rate risk and be short more of that credit spread or long the idea of credit spread widening.
Right.
So it was a painful day, though.
Yeah, I think when you look at the price action today, it was important that we didn't give up 50.75. That would be giving up about 2/3 of yesterday's move. Don't want to give up 2/3 of the move. So you kind of just go back and play the week in some sequence here. What we had developed early in the week were the three signals we always look for to get some type of a tactical low. Indiscriminate selling. Certainly saw that over the last several days, particularly in the bond market. Very indiscriminate there. Capitulative price signals. You had 80% of the S&P make a new low. That's in the 2020, 2008 type category. And importantly, you finally got something out of put-call ratios. For weeks and weeks and weeks, we've been lamenting that you've seen nothing in put-call ratios, so the protection was there. It's like a beach ball under the water. It's hard to keep it down. That's why I take some comfort that we rallied, roughly into the close this afternoon. Kind of looking out, though, the tactical call feels easy. We've done a lot in a short period of time. The longer-term call, I think, is more challenging. You do tend to go back and retest these lows. I would not be shocked by that over the next 4 weeks to 4 months. That's what our data has always said.
What was your tactical call? You said that was easy. What was your tactical call?
I think the tactical view here is we've done a lot in a short period of time. Expect 56, 5,700 as a rally here. The longer-term call, I think, gets more challenging.
Right. Yeah, I think if you look at the volume on this, so you left out the volume part, but you've been thinking about that. Out of the last 5 days, 3 record volume days. That's probably something you focus on, right?
Yeah, of course. And not only just the volume, but what the volume reflects.
Right.
It reflects this indiscriminate nature, this emotional market. You see it in VIX, Karen, as well. I think 3 or 4 days with VIX above 40 is extremely, extremely rare. You can get some very violent rallies out of that. I think yesterday was the start of a violent rally. I don't think it ended today. We obviously got pushed up against the ropes. Holding 50.75 is important. But when we start looking more structurally, we went back 100 years. 85% of the time, these moves, you retest your lows between 4 weeks and 4 months in the future. I don't think that's out of the question.
So if you think about it, we have the volume, and we thought that President Trump was going to be focused on Powell when he first started his presidency. Then it was the market. It's treasuries. So when you see treasuries pop, expect a tweet. So it reminds me of, you remember when Amazon had AWS, they could turn the spigot on and off. So they had shorts leaning on the stock. When they reported, if they wanted to have shorts cover, they made money. So with this one, if you're laying out a short in this market, do you feel more confident or less confident than yesterday? I would feel less confident in laying out a short in the market. Would you? I know you're...
Well, I'm always long, right? So the only thing I did was just take more credit widening bets, right. So that was via short.
Right. So I just think that things are going to be chaotic. We know that. Things are going to be volatile. We know that. I bought stocks last week. I held on to stocks this week. I'm not selling yet. I think we're going to bounce aggressively.